Hello, my leaders and fellow TBCians in the TBC community. I am by name Arowolo Y.I. I am a Nigerian and a member of a TBC community. This is my number 16 TBC Public Life Broadcast, and it is titled Reshape Your Life to Benefit Much from TBC. Reshape your life to benefit much from TBC. That is the caption. Reshape your life and benefit much from TBC. Let me start by saying that everyone in this life loves a great life. Everyone in this life loves a great life. We all want to be successful and great. We want to achieve our dreams. We want to achieve our goals and purposes. We don't want to lag behind colleagues and contemporaries in life. We want to be comfortable, secured, relevant, and respected. We want a good life. At least everyone I know does love to be happy. But not everyone is actually experiencing a great life. In fact, more people are struggling. They are seriously struggling in life than succeeding. They are seriously struggling in life than succeeding. They don't succeed. They struggle. Like that. That's how it is. Let me say that we are daily inspired, encouraged, motivated, and told the naked truth about the need to succeed. We are told the secret and ways to success. Many of us know the secret and principles by heart. In fact, some of us have taught other people, one-on-one or in groups, about the need and the principle of success. But ironically, we are also struggling in life. We are also struggling in life. We are struggling with our finances, struggling with our relationships, struggling with our marriages, our career, our behavior, and other critical aspects of our life. We have the answers, we have the knowledge, we see the opportunities, and guess what? We have the choice. We know what is right and needful, and we know what is destructive and unnecessary. Yet, we are unable to do anything about our lives and our situations. We are unable to do things despite the fact that we are knowledgeable in all the factors that are necessary or that are essential in all this. We are still not unable. We leave ourselves, we have the answer, as I've mentioned. We have the knowledge, we see the opportunity. I said you should guess what? We have the choice. We know what is right and needful. And we know what is destructive and unnecessary. Yet, we are unable to do anything about our lives and our situation. That's how it is. Dear friend, let me tell you that it is easy to know what to do, and it is easy, and it is worthwhile, it is wise to know how to do what is right. It is great to have that desire to do it, and impressive to decide to do it. What is lacking and most important in getting results is the power to do it. The things we want to do, we do not do. Those things we do not want to do are the things we find ourselves doing, which means there is something stronger than decision or choices that bring about results if we are unable to do things. And what does that call? It is called the willpower. The willpower. This willpower, you should note, is a power that must back up your will for anything to happen or come to pass. I said, there is a power that must back up your will for anything to happen or come to pass. Beyond knowing, beyond wishing, beyond wanting, you need power to back your decision in order to see tangible results. Many carry great dreams and aspirations for many years. Dreams and aspirations can easily be executed. Dreams and aspirations other than executing, obtaining great results and beautiful results, but some people just lack the power behind that will to do it. Let me tell you one true story. The story goes though, there is a girl whom I knew. It is a true life story. There is a girl I know. This girl I've known her many years ago in a neighborhood where I lived in. Her parents live in the village in the southern part of the country, Nigeria. This girl, as I've mentioned, she's 14 years of age, and she agreed then to live or to relocate to where her sister lives. She decided to leave, to go and stay with her and carry on her life. She was here. This auntie was matured in age. She's a single woman, almost in her middle 40s. She had never been married, and her lifestyle was basically making a living by associating with various men who were interested in funny affairs and relationships with her. She was making her income from this kind of lifestyle, and she somehow got by. I should be frank, she was up and doing. She got by these activities, by this kind of lifestyle. At least she dressed well. She paid her bills and even owned a car. To that extent, you can see. Consequently, when her younger sister came to live with her in my neighborhood, in the area where I lived in, she tried to convince this 14-year-old girl to her own way and style of making a living. This young girl didn't like the idea at all and did all she could to resist her sister to live off men. One day, according to rumor, it was a rumor, so the authenticity of the rumor to this present moment is not known, but it was rumored that her auntie arranged some main guys and a girl and her sister was eventually violated in her presence. Ladies invited guys violated as a younger sister. We just noticed at a certain stage that this girl wasn't the cute, the decent and respectful young neighbor any longer. She began to walk up and down the street and hung out in corners and at junctions with all kinds of people and guys she had no business being with. One day, I saw this 15-year-old girl smoking cigarettes with a small bottle of all drinks at a taxi park just not far away from our residence. We used to talk to one another, so I took it upon myself to advise, to help, and I support her out of this destructive lifestyle she has taken up. The more I tried, get me well please, the more I tried to help this girl, the worse she got. Heavy smoking, overdrinking, chronic overeating, obsessive shopping. She was just out of control. One day she confessed to me that really she knows she's living dangerously, and on many occasions decided to change and do something worthwhile with her life. But the more she tried, the worse she got. She couldn't help herself, she confessed sadly. I promise I will always remember her in prayer, because there is basically nothing in life that is more, that is beyond prayer. I promise to pray for her. About 6 months or thereafter, after this conversation with her, news broke out that her auntie had been murdered. She traveled out of town with a strange man and was eventually found murdered in a hotel room somewhere in the south. This news shocked everyone in the neighborhood. The woman may have lived dangerously, no doubt about that, but we all hope she will change one day and not end up the way she ended. After the sad incident, this lady, who happened to be her younger sister, also disappeared from our neighborhood. We couldn't see her again. About 7 years or thereafter, I walked into one banking hall in one of the prestigious banks in Nigeria, and there was this guy sitting behind the customer service desk, looking very attractive, professional, and intelligent. What? She was so glad to see me, and I was so happy for her. A few days after the reunion, we were dating, we were chatting, and she confessed her auntie's death shocked her and shook her, and she immediately stopped all she was doing wrong with her life, decided to go to school and do something great with her life. Do something great with her life, do away with the smoking, drinking, clubbing, hanging out with men, and she focused her energy on academics. And see what? She set a goal for herself, according to her, eventually change her life. She got a goal for herself, as I've mentioned, and you know what? God really answered her prayer. Let me tell you, my friend, what happened is that through neurology, it has been discovered the brain adopts a certain pattern for every habit. Once your brain adopts this pattern, the habit over time is programmed into your system, and this habit for you becomes automatic. You don't do it deliberately any longer. It becomes a subconscious or an unconscious program. It ceases to be what you do, it becomes you. It's programmed and wired perfectly into you. Hence, you lose deliberate control over it. You cease to be in control. For example, let me cite, citing as an example, so to say. Once you learn how to drive a car, if you learn how to drive it well, you cannot unlearn it. Once you learn how to swim, you cannot unlearn it. Once you learn how to read, you cannot unlearn it. Though these are skills, it is also the same with habit. So when you learn a bad habit, you cannot unlearn it. It is moved from something you do by choice to something you've become, and once it becomes you, it is beyond your conscious control. So it ceases to be a matter of choice. It is now a case of your person. Incidentally, your future or your nature is stronger than your will. Your nature is stronger than your will. The only way to change a behavior or a bad habit is to override the neural patterns adopted and recognized by your brain with new patterns. And these new patterns will dominate the old ones. For example, you can't unlearn how to drive a car, as I've mentioned initially, but you can learn how to fly a plane. Then you stop driving and start flying everywhere you go. You do not change your life, improve your life, or achieve great goal by trying to stop old and destructive life patterns. You change your life and remake it by learning new positive habits and adopting new positive patterns, then indulging in the new habit based on your new goal. This is called the law of replacement. The law of replacement. Another example. Your daily activities when at school or at work is different from your daily activities when on vacation or holiday. The same you. Different goal, hence different daily activities and habits. When you learn a new habit, the brain rewrites new patterns, causing a shift in your behavior. So, to experience positive change in your life, don't focus on what you are doing wrong and old habits. This will weigh you down as it activates the neural pattern for the old habits once you think about it. Start learning new habits, set new goals, and focus on the new goal. These new activities will naturally override the old habits in your neural system, and you will definitely begin to move in the direction of your expectation. Immediately, the lady I shared a story about set new goals to go to school, get a good job, and a decent life. Our old habits were overridden by the new ones in line with our new goals decided for ourselves in life. Dear listener, that's how to get results. That's how to remake your life. Don't bother at all. Don't bother about what you can't do and the wrong things you do. Choose new habits in line with your goal to develop today and stay focused on it. With time, it will definitely override the bad habits holding you down. The power really is not based on what you stop doing. It lies with what you start doing. You can remake your life. All you need is to just rewrite your neural pattern. Rewrite your neural pattern, then automatically you change your life. Let me stop at this. Enjoy your day, my dear listener, as I acknowledge my mentor, Chief Muyiwa Afolabi.com of Frankly Speaking. May the Lord regularly bless him and all of us. Amen. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye until we meet again for my next broadcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.